So what we have here is this is your typical spillover for the spa. And when you raise a spa, one of the nice features is to be able to get that constant, that sheer waterfall off the face down to pool level. Pool level's down here somewhere, so we want to create that nice sheet. Normally, we haven't done it yet, but normally this surface can be done one of two ways. It could be a solid piece of stone, a polished piece of stone like a granite, or mostly what we do is tile. And the reason we do tile, and it'll be a tile that'll match the rest of the pool, is to make that edge fairly sharp on the front edge so that the water can pull away from it. If you just put a piece of stone that had rounded edges here, as the water falls, it's going to want to hold to the surface tension of the water wants it to stay together. If you ever spray water down, you see it clump up into small little bubbles of water. It's because the surface tension is pulling it together. Well, if you have water coming across the face of this and you have a round surface, it's going to want to stay with itself, and it's going to pull itself over that edge and then just run down the wall. You're not going to get that sheet. But if you do a nice crisp edge, and I say sharp, not meaning sharp in terms of cut yourself sharp, but a nice crisp edge, when the water gets to that point, it's pushed off the edge and it can't hold itself and grab to the surface that it's holding to, and it falls. The net result of it falling is it will create this nice even sheet across the entire opening and fall to the pool. Other thing to think about when you're doing that is how deep is it from the top of your stone to the top of your finish, and how wide. If this was too narrow and this isn't deep enough, the spa, as it fills up with water, will actually overflow the edges before it can push the water out fast enough. So that's probably one of the biggest mistakes people make, especially the first time they do this, is they make that opening too narrow, and if it's too narrow, it has to be deep. Because the water pressure can only push so quickly over the edge. And remember, surface tension is trying to hold itself together. Well, as this is filling up and it's starting to spill, that water is trying to hold it back. It's trying to stay in there, and it's slowly creeping out. Well, if this isn't wide enough, you'll overflow the spa to the point where it'll spill over the edges before it can push water out of here fast enough. So always go as wide as you possibly can, and then as deep as you possibly can within reason. Now also realize if you make this too deep, that shallows your pool. The deeper this is from here down, the shallower your pool is. So your spa is. So right now, from here down is going to measure the depth of our spa. If we cut this deeper because we didn't make it wide enough, we go to cut it deeper, we now have a shallower spa. So you have to think about this level right here as that's your maximum depth for your spa. And if you want to keep that shallow, then you have to make this wide. So those are kind of good cases in point when dealing with this spillover action is make sure you have enough space that you can get enough water to flow over it.